paycheck. They kind of milk it, and I'm not going to put Alaskans through that. I promised efficiencies and effectiveness. That's not how I'm wired. I'm not wired to operate under the same old politics as usual. I promised that 4 years ago, and I meant it. That's not what is best for Alaska at this time. I'm determined to take the right path for Alaska, even though it is unconventional and it's not so comfortable. With this announcement that I'm not seeking re-election, I've determined it's best to transfer the authority of governor to Lieutenant Governor Parnell. And I am willing to do this so that this administration, with its positive agenda and its accomplishments and its successful road to an incredible future for Alaska, so that it can continue without interruption and with great administrative and legislative success. My choice is to take a stand and affect change and not just hit our head against the wall and watch valuable state time and money, millions of your dollars, go down the drain in this new political environment. Rather, we know we can affect positive change outside government at this moment in time on another scale and actually make a difference for our priorities. And so we will, for Alaskans and for Americans. Let me go back quickly to a comfortable analogy for me, and that's sports, basketball. And I use it because you are naive if you don't see a full court press from the national level picking away right now. A good point guard, here's what she does. She drives through a full court press, protecting the ball, keeping her head up because she needs to keep her eye on the basket. And she knows exactly when to pass the ball so that the team can win. And that is what I'm doing, keeping our eye on the ball. That represents sound priorities. Remember, they include energy independence and smaller government and national security and freedom. And I know when it's time to pass the ball for victory. And I've given my reasons now, very candidly, truthfully, and my last day won't be for another few weeks, so the transition will be very smooth. In fact, we look forward to swearing in Sean Parnell up there in Fairbanks at the conclusion of our governor's picnic at the end of the month. And I really don't want to disappoint anyone with this announcement, not with the decision that I have made. All I can ask is that you trust me with this decision and know that it is no more politics as usual. And some Alaskans, it seemed today, maybe they don't mind wasting public dollars and state time, but I do. And I cannot stand here as your governor and allow the millions of dollars and all that time go to waste just so that I can hold the title of governor. And I don't know if my children are going to allow it anyway. Some are going to question the timing of this, and let me just say that this decision has been in the works for a while. In fact, this decision comes after much consideration, prayer and consideration. And finally, I polled the most important people in my life, my kids, where the count was unanimous. Well, in response to asking, hey, do you want me to make a positive difference and fight for all our children's future from outside the governor's office? It was 4 yeses and 1 hell yeah. And the hell yeah sealed it. And someday I'll talk about the details of that. I think, though, much of it for the kids had to do with recently seeing their baby brother Trig mocked and ridiculed by some pretty mean-spirited adults recently. And by the way, I sure wish folks could ever understand all that we can learn, all of us, from someone like Trig. I know he needs me, but I know that I need him even more. And what a child can offer to set priorities right, know that time is precious. The world needs more Trigs, not fewer. My decision was also fortified during this most recent trip to Kosovo and Landstuhl to visit our wounded soldiers overseas. Those who truly sacrifice themselves in war for our freedom and our security. And we can all learn from our selfless troops. They're bold and they don't give up and they take a stand and they know that life is short, so they choose not to waste time. They choose to be productive and to serve something greater than self and to build up their families and their states and our great country. These troops and their important missions now, there is where truly the worthy causes are in this world, and that's where our public resources should be, our public priority, with time and resources spent on that, not on this superficial, wasteful political blood sport. So may we all learn from them. Really, we've just got to put first things first. And first things first, as governor, I love my job and I love Alaska. And it hurts to make this choice, but I'm doing what's best for Alaska, and I have explained why. Though I think of the saying on my parents' refrigerator, a little magnet that says, "Don't explain, your friends don't need it, and your enemies won't believe you anyway." But I've given my reasons. There's no more politics as usual, and I'm taking my fight for what's right for Alaska in a new direction. Now, despite this, I sure don't want any Alaskan dissuaded from entering politics after seeing this real climate change that began in August. No, we need hardworking average Americans fighting for what's right, and I will support you because we need you, and you can affect change, and I can too on the outside. We need those who will respect our Constitution, where government's supposed to serve from the bottom up and not move toward this top-down big government takeover, but rather will be protectors of individual rights, who also have enough common sense to acknowledge when conditions have drastically changed, and they're willing to call an audible and pass the ball when it's time so the team can win. And that's what I'm doing. Remember, Alaska, America is now more than ever looking north to the future, and it'll be good. So God bless you. And from me and from my family to all Alaska, you have my heart. And we're going to be in really great hands, the capable hands of our Lieutenant Governor, Sean Parnell. And Lieutenant General Craig Campbell then will assume the role of Lieutenant Governor. And it's my promise to you that I will always be standing by, ready to assist. We have a good, positive agenda for Alaska. Take the words of General MacArthur. He said, "We are not retreating, we are advancing in another direction." So with that, I'm going to hand this over to our good Lieutenant Governor. And again, I say thank you and God bless you, Alaska.
Thank you, Governor. It's with a heavy heart that I hear those words. You've been a strong leader for our state. You've inspired a nation, and you've ignited the fire of real hope around the world. It wasn't that long ago when, in August of 2006, I walked into your campaign office and met you both after just winning the gubernatorial primary and the lieutenant governor primary. We sat together, kind of warily talked about how do we merge our campaigns together, and began to forge a bit of a trust. And I think you identified where that trust comes from now that has grown so deeply, and that is because we share the joy of putting Alaskans first. And I've seen that ingrained in you. It's ingrained in Todd and your family, and I just honor you for that. I profoundly respect your decision, for I know the depth of character and integrity that brought you to that. Rare indeed are such selfless acts seen in the public arena. Governor Palin has recounted well the achievements of the last 2.5 years, and I want to take a moment to assure Alaskans of the good team in place, some of whom are here. This good team will move Alaska forward and speak to the concerns of Alaska, and I want to speak briefly about what Alaskans can expect. Our talented team of commissioners, I'd like them to stay. I intend to keep them working hard for our state. I will work with the governor to coordinate with the cabinet and staffs on a seamless and stable transition. I will work closely with legislators, community leaders, and all interested Alaskans to accomplish these ends. I came into office believing, as the governor does, and still strongly believe, that the powers, rights, and responsibility of our government belongs to the people. Alaskans can expect me to focus on positioning Alaska for economic growth, for legacy opportunities for our people and future generations. My top priority is just like our governor's. Let's get a gas line. I will continue the course set by the governor that has produced such forward progress these past 2 years. I'll continue to support and promote responsible resource development and energy development of all kinds for Alaskans. State government will live within its means. We're going to provide a stable investment climate for job creation. We proudly and resolutely commit our support to the military, the veterans, and the families, and we're going to protect Second Amendment rights. Those are guiding principles that have maintained and
well, there you have it. The stunning news that Sarah Palin is going to let her lieutenant governor take over as governor of Alaska.